Hi scholars, here I am, Miss Vaslin with first grade ELA for day 13. Let's start off with our assignments. So for our reading assignments, we are going to review the describing connections. We're going to read water games, answer the questions, and respond to the writing prompt. I'm going to review the writing a little later in the video. So we're going to start with describing connections. So remember when we read, we want to connect things that we read or information in the story, so our events and ideas, so that we can think and put together and kind of figure out what this author is trying to tell us, or what whoever the author is trying to tell us. So there are two types of connections. One, which is events, and they follow time order. So first, then next, last, like a sequence, like we write about a lot in the classroom. Then there's another type of connection where it's one idea that we stick with and then we follow it through. So, like for instance, when you were working on your nonfiction rating, you were following one thing, one idea. So, whatever your animal topic you picked, whether it be dolphins or sharks or frogs or owls, that was your one idea. And then you expanded on it. So, today I'm going to read Water Games. This is a nonfiction. Water everywhere. It's carnival. These South Americans are having a water fight. Water balloons fly through the air. They splash when they hit people. People spray water from hoses. It is hard to stay dry. Some people wear rain ponchos or use umbrellas. Watering the earth. These South Americans cheered for water when they planted long ago. A planting festival began. People sang and danced. They thanked the earth for the food that grew. People planted and watered seeds. They hoped for rain to help the seeds grow. Party time. Water was a big part of the planting festival. Later, people started new traditions based on the planting festival. What was at the center of these traditions? Water. Some of these traditions are part of carnival. South Americans dress up in colorful costumes and masks. They march in parades. They play cheerful music. Many people dance and sing. And what about the water? People play water games at carnival too. More than water. Water games are a fun part of carnival, but the games have changed over time. Now there is more than water. People spray colored foam. They throw flour or paints into crowds, and the next day they do it all over again. All right, so now I'm going to put a check because we reviewed the describing connections. I'm also going to put a check because we read water games. And now I'm going to go on to answer the questions that go with the story. Now remember, class, I only model the first question. So I'll read all the questions, but I'm only going to model the first question. And the first question says, why do people use umbrellas and ponchos? So it says they are in South America. I know we use water umbrellas. Maybe I might use ponchos too, some of you. Ponchos like a raincoat. So I don't think that's the answer, but let me move on. They are in a water fight. Ooh, I thought I read that. So let's go back to that. And C, they're in a rainstorm. Oh, I don't remember reading about a rainstorm, but let's go find the answer. So I'm going to look for they are in a water fight. And I know I didn't underline it in my video, but it does say in that second sentence, Americans are having a water fight. But the information I did underline is people spray water from hoses. So that tells me that it's not South America, and it tells me it's not a rainstorm. So the answer has to be they are in a water fight. But you can underline the second sentence, Americans are having a water fight, because that would explain it to you. South Americans, sorry. And then question 2, look at the picture and the text. What happened during the planting festival? Choose the correct picture. I'm going to go to question 3, which is also referring to page 2. What did people want to happen after the planting festival? Question 4, how are the old and new traditions alike? Complete the sentence. The planting festival and new carnival traditions both use Question 5. How is Carnival different from the planting festival? Question 6. Water was part of the planting festival. Water is part of Carnival. How are these ideas connected? So now that we just went over the questions, I'm going to put a check there. And now it wants us to respond to the writing prompt in your reading journal. So I'm going to go to our reading journal, and it says you just read about water games a long time ago, and now, why are people in South America celebrating water? Use details from the text to support your answer. So it wants you to start. Notice it's giving you your introduction sentence, your introductory sentence. People in South America celebrate water because, and then you're going to expand. Now, normally we wouldn't put the because in that first sentence. We would just say stop at celebrate water. And then we will start listing our facts. And you can do that and cross out because, and then put your next second sentence for because in the classroom, that's what we would have done. But remember to have 2 additional sentences with that supporting from the text. Don't take it directly from the text, but go back to the text and take some of those words and create your own sentence that would support that. And then end it with, this is why people in South America celebrate water. That would be your closure. I can't wait to see what text supports you've put in. So I'm going to put a check there because we've already done that one. And now I'm going to review our assignments for rating. It says to choose a prompt from the calendar, draw a picture, and write your response in the writing journal. So I'm going to go to our writing journal. Remember, it's from the prompt. So just because I read one of these doesn't mean you have to write about it. You can pick any prompt from this writing prompt page to write about. Remember to color the box so that you know that you did that prompt, so that way you can move and do something. So let me see. Today, I thought I might pick, write about a time you did something for the first time. Something I did for the first time. I can tell you, I know what I could write about. I could write about making these videos and having a YouTube channel, because that is, or even our Google Meet meetings, because that is something I've done for the very first time since we've been off. So that might be something I might want to write about. That might be a good topic for you guys to write about too, because it's the first time I'm sure you're writing this. You've never seen your teachers on videos that you've watched, unless maybe you had Miss Mello, then maybe. But if not, so that might be a topic that you may want to write, or those Google Meets, right? Or even having school at home. That might be a good thing to write about too. But remember, you can pick any one of these prompts. That's the one I just thought would be a good one for today. And remember, use your anchor chart to help you. You can also use this anchor chart when you're working on your reading, because it will help you, okay? I already went over this in the other one, so I'm not going to, just a couple of seconds ago, so I'm not going to go over it. But remember to use it. It is important. So now that I've chosen a prompt from the calendar, I'm going to put a check there, and I went over the draw a picture and write response in your writing journal. So that means I am done with the reading and writing section of your video. If you have finished with your math and science, congrats, you are done for the day. If not, head on over and watch the math and science video. For the rest of you, I'll see you tomorrow for day 14. Bye.